Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana, tamu sana. Yes. After yesterday's statement by the president, very many Kenyans are now asking questions. What next for OKA, and also what next for Gideon Moi? Those are the two questions Kenyans are asking. And in this video today, I want us to dissect that question, or rather, I want us to dissect in details and see clearly what are the options now left for OKA and what are the options now left for one Gideon Moi. That's our discussion in this video. And in case you've bumped on this YouTube channel for the very first time, tap on the subscription button and also on the notification bell to receive a notification anytime we upload a new video. In this YouTube channel, we do a daily political analysis on current and latest political news and events. Straight away to our discussion, folks. OKA was formed for two reasons. The first reason OKA was formed was to curtail the inroads William Ruto was making in some parts of Ukambani and also in some parts of the Mulembe Nation, Western. That was the first reason OKA was formed. The second reason OKA was formed was to see if they could propel a Gideon Moi presidency without Raila's input. That was the second reason. Just to start with the first reason, to curtail William Ruto's input or inroads in those areas, you know, after Msambweni by-election, Ruto appeared that he was very, very strong. And also going towards Machakos senatorial by-election, Kabuchai and Matungu, most Kenyans were fearing that maybe William Ruto could also spring another surprise in those areas. So OKA, the idea of OKA was mooted around during that time. Then after the by-election, OKA was now officially formed. It was now officially formed. And also, to curtail one William Ruto's influence, Kenyans in those areas were just reminded that before they became hustlers, they belonged to tribes. And that worked. And also William Ruto was given a humiliating defeat in those areas. The second thing OKA was formed was to see if Gideon Moi could be propelled to the presidency without Raila Amolo Odinga. Because after the by-elections now, William Ruto appeared that he was so weak that any candidate could just easily beat him. So OKA was formed to see if they could propel a Gideon Moi presidency. Because at that time, it seemed to appear that any other candidate would easily beat one William Ruto. So OKA was formed to propel a Gideon Moi presidency. But as that was happening, it was rumored that maybe Raila Amolo Odinga could team up again with one William Ruto. Because at that time, nobody thought that William Ruto could team up with Raila Amolo Odinga. But as Gideon Moi was being propelled maybe to be made the president through OKA, there emerged some rumors that Raila and Ruto were maybe planning to work together. So the president very first reached out to Raila Amolo Odinga, and then we also saw Gideon Moi reaching out to Raila Amolo Odinga and also Moi Kenyatta. So that idea of Raila and Ruto working together was killed. Yes, it was killed. So OKA was formed for those two reasons. The first reason was to curtail inroads William Ruto was making in Ukambani and also in parts of Western. That was achieved. The second objective that was not achieved was to propel a Gideon Moi presidency. Because from the intelligence sources that came from the ground, that could not happen because Gideon Moi was very weak on the ground. And also William Ruto was not a pushover also on the ground. So that idea of pushing for a Gideon Moi presidency also failed. Failed, but the one to curtail William Ruto's inroad was achieved. So OKA, having been formed to push a Gideon Moi presidency, and it failed, it simply means that the statement yesterday by the president technically means that OKA is now dead and buried. There is no OKA now. It's dead and buried. It's dead and buried. And now, what next for Gideon Moi? What next for Gideon Moi? Gideon Moi, ladies and gentlemen, from where I sit, and your guess can be as good as mine, that Gideon Moi is the preferred natural heir that Uhuru would really wish to see as the president come 2022. But nonetheless, having looked at all the possible variables, all the political variables, that's not possible. And that's why Uhuru Kenyatta made it very clear yesterday that is willing to support one of the NASA principles and not Gideon Moi. So Gideon Moi option is only to work with this team, to work with whoever Uhuru will endorse. Gideon Moi's hands are tied. He just have to work with that person. Because we also know that Gideon Moi on his own is not a very, very strong candidate. In fact, even in his own Baringo County, just when BBI was being voted for in the county assemblies, Baringo County, where Gideon Moi comes from, became the first county assembly in Kenya to reject or rather to vote out BBI. The first county assembly. And that's where Gideon Moi comes from. And also, if you look at the elected leaders, you know, that can also tell you what is happening. If you look at the elected leaders in Baringo County, senator, the members of parliament, and also women rep, Gideon Moi has the backing of only 3 members of parliament. In fact, he has the backing of the women rep of Baringo County, William Kamket, and I think himself. There are only 3. The other 4 are not with him. So that also just tells and proves that Gideon Moi is very, very weak on the ground. So Gideon Moi's options are a little bit limited. He has no option but to work with Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta and to work with the person Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta will endorse. He has no option. And also, from where I sit, I strongly believe that Gideon Moi is most likely going to hold a very senior position in the next government that might be formed by this group of Raila. Should Uhuru Kenyatta endorse Raila Amolo Odinga, I strongly believe that Gideon Kipsiele Moi will hold one of the most senior positions in that government. Maybe even the running mate, or if not, maybe the prime ministership. Because we know should BBI sail through, we are going to have the post of the prime minister. And also should BBI fail, and assuming this side of Raila wins, they can just introduce the post of the prime minister again. And you might just find Gideon Moi holding that post, or even Kalonzo Musyoka. So Gideon Moi's option, or rather Gideon Moi's next political move, is just to stick with this alliance. Now to Musalia Mudavadi. Musalia Mudavadi seems to be a victim of last-minute ditch mistake. I've been talking about that in this YouTube channel. Musalia Mudavadi in 2002 walked out of National Rainbow Coalition and rejoined KANU. He ended up losing his Sabatia parliamentary seat in 2002. So Musalia Mudavadi comes out as a politician who lacks tact. He doesn't have political tactics. He always makes last-minute ditch mistakes. He is not very good in reading where the wind is blowing towards. Yes. And maybe next year, or rather in 2022, most likely Musalia Mudavadi, unless something happens, he might also make the same mistake he made in 2002. Assuming now Uhuru supports Raila Amolo Odinga, I'm not seeing a situation where Musalia Mudavadi will beat Raila in Western. I'm not seeing a situation. Assuming Uhuru supports Raila Amolo Odinga, I strongly believe that the Mulembe nation, majority of them will most likely support Raila Amolo Odinga and not Musalia Mudavadi. And we saw that in 2013. And I believe that things have not changed much. And also about 1 week ago, Wycliffe Ambetsa Oparanya also just made it very, very clear that if Raila will contest for the presidency, then he will be forced to withdraw his candidature through ODM to allow Raila Amolo Odinga contest. That just meant that from where also Oparanya sits, he believed that Raila is the best bet for the presidency. And also, Oparanya also has some support among the Mulembe people. And also, if you look in Busia County, that's a Raila stronghold. If you look in Vihiga, where Mudavadi comes from, governor there is leaning towards Raila Amolo Odinga, Wilberforce Otichilo. Senator George Aniri is also somehow sympathetic to Raila Amolo Odinga. And Moses Wetangula, I strongly believe that should Uhuru endorse Raila Amolo Odinga, Moses Masika Wetangula will also be in this bandwagon of Raila Amolo Odinga. I strongly believe that. So we might just find maybe Musalia Mudavadi maybe walking out of that kind of an alliance. For Kalonzo Musyoka, I know for a fact that Kalonzo is a seasoned politician who knows how to smell where power is heading to. And assuming Uhuru endorses Raila, Kalonzo will be part and parcel of that kind of an arrangement. I know that for a fact. So Musalia Mudavadi has only an option of going it alone or working with one William Ruto. And assuming he works with one William Ruto, I still believe that now he shall have also dug his political grave even deeper. Because now, Raila will be having a field day in the Mulembe nation. Yeah. So, Musalia Mudavadi, only option as of now is simply to work with Raila Amolo Odinga. Because we know that after 2022 election, Raila will be planning an exit strategy. And I believe the Mulembe nation leader who will be closer to Raila at that time will most likely inherit Raila's support among the Mulembe people and also by an extension in Nyanza, the Luo community. The Mulembe nation leader who will be closer to Raila at that time will most likely be the natural heir to that kind of a support. So I strongly believe that OKA, from that statement by the president yesterday, OKA is technically dead and buried. There is no OKA. For Gideon Moi only option is to work with this group of NASA, this one that Uhuru says he will endorse. Musalia Mudavadi has also no option but to work with this group. Otherwise, folks, let me leave it there for today. Stay tuned for our next video. I'm working on the possible political option that now William Ruto is left with. Because we know that William Ruto was also angling for an endorsement from the president. But that statement yesterday by the president just confirmed that his marriage with the president is now officially over. Stay tuned for that video. Otherwise, for those watching us outside of Kenya, drop a comment if you are watching us for the very first time. Drop a comment and let us know from which part of the globe you are watching us from. Otherwise, I implore upon you to give this video a like. Tamu sana, tamu sana. Thank you.